The fact is that in a web world, we are under pressure to act even faster. You know, I was staying in New York about just before Christmas, and I was staying in a high-rise tower which was 4,322 stories high and only had 2 lifts, at least only 2 that worked. I was late, and I was standing by the lift, and the lift button was lit, and there were 10 people standing there watching their watches. It's 8 minutes, and I'm wondering what is going to happen. Now, I confess to you, at that moment, I was tempted to do something totally crazy. I was actually tempted for a moment to press that lift button more than once. I can see from 1 or 2 of you laughing that you might have been tempted to do the same thing. I'm sure you have never, ever done such a crazy thing. Well, perhaps you have. Who here has pressed a lift button more than once? My friends, you know, I was in Dallas, Texas in November. I was talking with 850 airline pilots, and I asked them another question. I said, you seem an interesting group. Tell me something. I'm very interested in airline pilots because I fly a lot in planes. I said, tell me, I need to know how you think. Put your hand up if not only did you press the button, but you also talk to the lift. Come on, baby, it's time to come. 95%, this is honestly true, 95% of the airline pilots of America talk to the lifts when they want them to come. I asked another question. I started to get worried. I really started to worry at this point. Because, of course, my next question is, put your hands up if you talk to your plane. And you know what? They all do. And if we remember nothing else about the future than this, remember that when, you see, you are very rational people. You are logical. You are the intellectual giants in distribution, logistics, and supply chain management, in the post office, and communications, and banking, and financial services. You, steady. Listen, what we have learned about each other is that when we are under pressure, we can behave totally irrationally. And if it's true of you, it's true of the driver of your truck, it's true of the pilot on the plane. Did you know that irrational acts are one of the main causes of airline accidents? It's not technical failure. Irrational acts are one of the main causes of companies going bust. Irrational acts are one of the main causes of all kinds of systems breaking down. So if we understand something about the future, it's that the future is not about the strategy. It's not simply about the Excel spreadsheet numbers. It's not about the logical analysis of competitor activity. It is about the fact that there is something else operating in the world behind the scenes, and that thing is immersion. And we find it hard to talk about it. I work a lot with banks. I tell you, banks find this very tough. I work with lawyers and accountants. They hate this. But it's true. I work with technology companies like Nokia. Nokia knows that the future of their technology is not bytes and bits and geeks and chips. It's emotion. It's passion. It's connecting with what will be exciting for your 15-year-old son to earn. And it's that which will decide which is a make or break technology. And you see it in just about every area. We see it in the reaction at the moment to the Chinese government starting to buy big chunks of American industry, for sovereign wealth funds starting to use these trillions of dollars to buy up chunks of Swiss banks. We see it in all kinds of other areas as well. That's why we don't believe market research. I mean, market research can't tell you the future. Market research simply tells you what your customers told you yesterday about how they think they will behave tomorrow, and they're usually wrong. And I can give you hundreds of examples of that